Okay, top-heavy graphs. Top-heavy graphs are nice as well because you don't have to do the test values. Just a quick reminder, when's the only time you have to do the test values? When your horizontal is y equals 0, when it's right on the x-axis. If it's not, then you can use your intercepts to know whether you're top half or bottom half. Okay. First one is going to be a review one of the lesson we just went over with one new piece in there. This new piece we have not seen, but it is a definite on the test. All right. What's different about this one? Something can reduce. What do I do before I reduce? Domain. Okay, so what is my domain? X cannot equal -2 and 2. Okay, do we all agree? All right, I'm going to go ahead and draw my graph over here. All right. What do I do next? Reduce. And then I find everything else. A vertical asymptote comes from the what? Denominator. So x equals, and I look at the multiplicity. X equals -2. What's the multiplicity? 1. So it is odd. Yes or no? Okay. So I go over -2, ... and label it odd at the top so I can remember when I'm graphing. That means opposite or same direction?
Opposite.
Okay. Horizontal, I do top heavy, bottom heavy, or the same. It's the same, so I take leading coefficients. What's my leading coefficient at the top? At the bottom? 1. So my horizontal is y equals 3. So I'm going to go up 3. Now, because my horizontal is not y equals 0, do I have to use test values on this one? No. No, I do not. Okay. X-intercept, go ahead and plug in 0 for y. I'm going to cover this. Set it equal to 0. Subtract, divide. What do you get for your x-intercept? -1/3. Do you guys see how we got that? If you set this equal to, was that a no? Okay. So I'm going to set this equal to 0, but remember I reduced that. So 3x plus 1 over x plus 2. What's going to happen with the x plus 2? It's going to cross out, so you're left with this. And how do you solve that? Subtract and divide by 3. -1/3. Are we good? All right, -1/3. Oh, is that a cross or a bounce? It's a cross because the multiplicity here is 1. Yes? All right, and y-intercept, how do I find the y-intercept? 0 for x. So 0 plus 1, 0 plus 2. What's your y-intercept? 1/2. All right, how many sections? 3 or 2? Left half and right half. Do you see that? Okay, left half. Do you see that there's a top half and a bottom half? Now, what's making the top and bottom? The red line or the x-axis? So it's either all above the red line or all below the red line. Where is it going to be without doing any test value? Why is it all at the top? There's no x-intercepts that are bringing me down here. Does that make sense? Okay, so no test value. This is telling me opposite or same. So I'm coming from the bottom, and this is across, correct? And then I hit my y-intercept, and is there anything bringing me back down, or do I just now approach the intercept? I'm sorry, the asymptote. Approach the asymptote. Okay, so remember this asymptote you never ever touch or cross. The horizontal you only touch or cross if needed or necessary. Is it needed or necessary in this problem? No. Did we cross it? We got close and we got close, but did we touch it or cross it? No. All right, make sense? Oh, we'd get this wrong. Why? There's no slant on this one. This one is review. I'm going to put that up here. I said it, but I didn't write it. How do we know if it's a slant? It's only slant if it is top heavy. Was this top heavy, bottom heavy, or the same? Same. All right, here's why you would get it wrong. And kids do miss this on the test quite often. Okay, what is my domain? Okay, so can equal -2. 1, this is -2. Did my graph ever touch the -2? No. Was it taken care of with the asymptotes? Yes. Is my domain pretty much always taken care of with my asymptotes? Yes. Yes. But did I cross this one out? Yes. So my domain is also x cannot equal 2. So I'm going to go over to 2. Do I have an asymptote there? No. But x cannot equal 2, so what do I put on my graph? An open circle is correct. All right, so when you reduce a variable, not a coefficient, when you reduce a variable, you will always have a hole on your graph. In this case, a hole at x equals 2. Okay, I'm going to repeat that. Whenever you reduce a what? A variable, you will have a hole at whatever you crossed out. I crossed out x minus 2, so I have a hole at x equals 2. 2 and a hole. Make sense? All right, new stuff. Number 2, y equals x squared minus x over x plus 1. And we're going to do D for domain, va, ha, sa. What does sa stand for? Slant. X-intercepts, y-intercept. I want you to do everything except for the saw. That's the only one you don't know how to do. So you're doing everything except for the slant. All right, what's your domain? All reals, x cannot equal -1. Correct? Did anybody factor the top? Yes? Okay. When you factor the top, does anything reduce? Okay, so we'll wait for that. We'll wait on that for later. Okay, here's the graph. I'm going to put my slant in and make note on whether it is positive or negative. I'm sorry, even or odd. Okay, what is my vertical? Where do I look at for my vertical? Denominator. And when I look, there's only one. What does x equal? And is the multiplicity even or odd? It's 1, which means it is odd. So I go over to x equals -1, and I graph my vertical. And what do I put at the top? Odd. Okay, is this top heavy, bottom heavy, or the same? Which means what about this, the horizontal? D and E or none? I would accept either one. Now, you have test questions where this is all they're asking. So don't leave it blank. What would you put here? Either D and E or none. Would even accept 0 with a line through it. Okay, slant, we'll come back to x-intercepts. You have 2 of them. What are they? 0 and 1. It's coming from right here, right? When you set this equal to 0, what happens to the bottom? And you get 0 and 1. What do we notice about the multiplicity of each one? So are they crosses on both of them? All right, y-intercept, 0 minus 0 over 1 is 0. All right, are we ready for the slant? Yes? Okay, I'm going to do it down here. And I will tell you that slant, you're going to complain, but it's always going to be a pretty easy problem. You do long division. Good. All right. The top goes on the inside. I believe Leonard was the one who said the top dog goes in the house. Was that correct, Leonard? Yes. All right. And then you divide. Now, we do not care about the remainder. We do not care about the remainder. I'm going to tell you that right now, which lightens things up a little bit. Okay. X times what is x squared? And then we distribute x squared plus what? I feel like I'm going too fast. No? All right. Again, we do long division with slant. And we distribute x squared plus 1x. What do I do with switch the signs? Good. Minus, minus. Gone. This is negative 2x. X times what is negative 2x? Negative 2. And I get negative 2x minus 2. What do I do with my signs? Switch, change, and change. Should that first set always cancel out like that and that? And my remainder is what? Do I care that the remainder is 2? This is all I care about there. And I write my slant just like I would my horizontal as a y equals. And what does y equal? Y equals x minus 2. So you're treating that just like a y equals mx plus b. Do we all know, do all of you know how to graph y equals mx plus b type graphs? Yes. What do we do first here when I'm graphing this? Y-intercept is negative 2 and the slope is 1. So up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. Yes? Okay, that was a bad graph, but oh, that curves right there, but yeah. Okay, are we good? Now, can you still see that there's a left half and a right half? And on the left half, can you still see that there's a top and a bottom? It's not perpendicular like it was before. The top is obviously bigger than the bottom, but there's still a top and a bottom. Do you see that? And the left, is there still a top and a bottom? Yes. All right, any questions on the right, left, top, and bottom business? None? All right, intercepts are 0. Positive 1, and my y-intercept is 0. And they're both crosses. Okay, what did I say about test values? Do we have to do them here? No. Like when your horizontal is a number other than 0, you can use your intercepts as a guide. So I'm going to cover this. What side am I looking at right now, the right side or the left side? Okay, do you see the top and the bottom? Now, just like before, it's either going to be all at the top or all at the bottom. Let me show you what I mean. Remember, it always approaches the red line. So it's either going to look like this, all at the top, or squished in here, all at the bottom. How do I know I can't have both of them? Because then it doesn't pass the vertical line test and it's no longer a function. You should be testing that when you're doing these on your own. Test at the end, is it a function? Because if it's not, that means you've messed up somewhere. All right, can anybody tell me, is it all at the top or all at the bottom? Why is it all at the bottom? No x-intercepts. Now, I just erased it, but when I had it there, did you see that I crossed the x-axis? Now, can I just cross because I want to? No, I can only cross if there's an x-intercept. All right, questions on that and how I knew it was down here? All right, right half. We know this is odd, which means opposite or same. So I'm coming at the bottom half or the top half? Top, and I have these intercepts to hit. So I cross and I cross. And is there anything bringing me back down? So I'm going to go up and approach the red line. It's curvy. I know that kind of looks straight. Okay. All right. Make sense? Do you agree it's not that bad? Now that we have done all the leg work, it's really not that bad. We're going to try another one. Can I move this? It's weird. Yeah. Mine doesn't look curvy enough, but this is curvy, not V-shape. The horizontal was D and E. How did we get the slant?
Horizontal.
Oh, the limit as x approaches infinity. So we do the top heavy, bottom heavy, same. And since it was top heavy, that was D and E. Okay? Is there a question? Okay. Number 3. Y equals x squared minus x minus 2 all over x minus 1. First thing you should check is if it factors, because sometimes it does reduce and that does make a difference in how you do things. So go ahead and factor it quickly. Tell me when you have it factored. Not yet? Minus 2 plus 1. Does anything reduce? Did this waste our time? No, because we need this when we set it equal to 0 later. All right. So, what was that? D, va, ha, sa. X-intercepts, Y-intercepts. I often have kids say, do I have to label the horizontal if it's not going to be there? Yes, you do, because on the test, it'll give it to you like this with blanks. And I want you to get used to putting what for the horizontal in this particular problem. D and E. Do not leave it blank. All right, go ahead and fill that in. Yes.
The only reason why it's D and E is because it's top heavy. Right?
Yes. So, and top heavy means you have a slant. So will you ever have a slant and a horizontal at the same time?
No.
No, because slants only happen when it's top heavy, and when it's top heavy, the horizontal's D and E.
Gotcha.
So they never happen at the same time. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
So really quick pause, guys. On the one that we did earlier here, on this one here, on the test, when it does have the saw, because it'll say va, ha, saw. If it's not top heavy, what would you put for the slant?
No.
D and E or none. Okay, so if there is no slant, it didn't happen on these because I didn't write it. But when there is no slant, you would write that, none, or D and E. Okay, domain, all rails where x does not equal 1. Vertical, x equals 1. And where did that come from? Denominator, and we look at the multiplicity. What is the multiplicity? Which means it is odd. So when I go over to the 1 and I graph my asymptote, my vertical asymptote, I put what node at the top? Odd. Okay. Horizontal, top heavy, bottom heavy are the same, which means what for horizontal? D and E. Slant, how do we find the slant? Long division. I'm going to have you guys do that now. Did you say long division? All right, go ahead. I know I went really fast, but I just got y equals x, and we're running out of time is the only reason I'm speeding up. It's just y equals x. That freaks kids out. What's your y-intercept? 0. You don't have to write it. I'm just writing it so you see. Y equals x is the same as y equals x plus 0. X-intercepts, when you set this equal to 0, the bottoms cross out. What do you have? 2 and negative 1, and I'm going to give you the y-intercept is 2. Again, I'm giving it to you because we're running out of time. 2, 2, and negative 1. And my slant is y equals x, which means it has a y-intercept of 0 and a slope of 1. It's that diagonal that we've graphed before with our inverse functions. All right, quickly. Left side, top half or bottom half, and why? Y is at the top half. We have x-intercepts up there that we have to hit, and y-intercepts. Do you see that? Okay, opposite means top half or bottom half. And do I have an x-intercept to hit as well? All right, do you guys see how that works? I know I went fast, but did it make sense?